All right, everybody, would like to welcome the 2025 Farmers Insurance Open champion, Harris English. What a great day. It was a difficult day, Harris. Just what are your emotions like after winning for the first time in a couple of years?
Yeah, this is the first time I've slept on a lead in a long time. I don't really know if I've done that in my PGA Tour career. But it's never easy. You think it would get easier being in those positions a lot and winning 4 times out here, but it never gets easier. It was nice to have my family out. This morning, it was pretty easy going. We're watching some kids shows. No Golf Channel, no Sports Center, not my usual TV during tournament week. So it was good to keep my mind off of it. I knew it was going to be a tough day today. I love that. I love this golf course when it plays really tough. I knew with the wind, you're probably not going to get somebody that shoots. I saw Sam Stevens shot 400 today, which is an incredible round, but you're not going to really see somebody coming up and throwing a 65, 66 out there today. So as a leader coming in the final round, you kind of like that. But it's going to be grind, and you're going to miss fairways, miss greens, but you got to miss it in the right spot. And I kind of leaned on my putter. Had that thing for a long time and started putting with it my senior year of college in 2011, and haven't putted well the last couple weeks in Hawaii and Palm Springs last week, but I worked a lot more this week, and I felt like my speed was really dialed in, and every putt was going in at the right speed. And it's nice when you hit it to 40 or 50 feet a few holes and can get it up there to tap in distance. So that really won me the golf tournament.
All right, we'll take some questions. Just raise your hand. We'll give you a mic, and we'll start with Paul, and then we'll go to Todd.
Harris, talking to your caddy and Justin, they both said, you play best on tough setups when it's hard. Why, in particular, do you feel like that happens?
It kind of goes back to when I was a kid, like playing in the U.S. Juniors, playing in U.S. Amateurs. I loved those big-time golf courses with thick rough, and you gotta play chess out there. It's not some of these golf courses where, to me, is more of a dart contest than a putting contest. A test like this, you gotta miss in the right spots. You gotta grind out there, and pars are good, and that's kind of all you're trying to do. And I don't know what it is. I just love U.S. Open type setups, and Torrey Pines has always been one of my favorites, and it's definitely kicked me in the teeth before, because if you're not hitting it well, if you're not missing the right spots, you're not going to play well. So I've had really good success here, and I've had where I'm not beating anybody based on how you're playing. So I love setups like this.
Justin mentioned maybe he kind of maybe pulled you aside or had a conversation last week, like, I want you to remember your competitiveness, kind of what got you those 4 wins, maybe not playing as much golf swing, and kind of remember the competitor in you. Is there any part of that just kind of like shifting your mentality and remembering that?
Yeah, I mean, we all want to be so perfect out here, and I'm obsessed with this game. I'm obsessed with getting better, and it's easy to fall in a little bit of a trap of what your swing looks like, what the TrackMan numbers say, and what on a video it should look like and perform. So when you kind of get in those ruts, you kind of lose your competitiveness, you lose the fun in shaping shots and hitting different shots, and that's kind of what we worked on last week. Like, I spent a lot of off-season working on some technique stuff, and he said it was like time to get back into playing, getting back into having fun on the range like I was a kid back in Moultrie, where I grew up, is just hitting different shots and curving around trees. Like, that's kind of how I grew up playing, and just to have fun with it, and whatever I see, get up there and hit it instead of trying to be so perfect.
All right, we'll go to Todd over on the side.
Harris, it's an interesting contrast to when you lost in the playoff here to Jason. The winning score was 9 under. I think the conditions on Sunday were hard, and you were unhappy with your driver, right? And then today, you go out, didn't really hit many fairways. Can you think about like that tournament and then today, and what the difference was for you?
That's a great point. Yeah, when I lost that tournament, I would have come off the course and said, like, well, if I'd have just driven it better, I could have won this event. But today, I mean, I didn't feel like I hit it that bad. It's hard to hit fairways out there. And I guess being out here for 14 years now, that's kind of what I've learned is, like, you don't have to play perfect golf. And that's playing this golf course years and years and having a lot of experience. I kind of know where to miss it. And I've had a lot of those same shots before, or same chips, or same putts. So you kind of build those in the memory bank and relive some of those good putts and good chips that you've hit. So, yeah, I mean, I think that was 2014 or something, or when I did that. So I feel like I've definitely grown as a player of letting the round come to me and not trying to force it. And I probably drove it the same today as I did back in 2014, but I had a total different outlook on it. I knew it was going to be a grind, and you just got to make pars, and it doesn't have to look pretty. You just got to get the job done.
I want to ask you, this is the first win since the hip surgery. We heard you talk about how difficult that was at the time. How good does this feel, given what you went through at that time, to come back to even be here? And when the hip problem got its worst, did you think that you'd be able to come back okay after it?
Yeah, it was one of those injuries that was just nagging for a long time, and I never could really get over it. And I thought in 2022 it was time to do it. It was time to get it done, and went out to the Stedman Clinic in Vail, and Dr. Philippon, who I trusted, and I saw him right after college when I had this problem, and trusted him to get me back. And I knew it was going to take a lot of work. I'm not scared of putting in the work, putting in the rehab. I just wanted to get back. The biggest thing I missed was just traveling and playing tournament golf. Like, that's what I missed. I love it out here. You miss seeing a lot of your friends for a few months, and you miss getting the juices going and standing there on the first tee and you got the butterflies going. You miss that feeling. And when you win, you never know when your next time's going to be, so you got to really cherish the moment. It's so hard to win out here on the PGA Tour. There's so many good players. There's young guys coming out here every single year that are trying to take your job, and it's awesome to see it. It pushes me to get better, and at 35, I feel like I've still got a lot more years out here to compete and just keep getting better at this crazy game.
How old's your daughter, and what's that like, given what you came back from and enjoying the moment? How is it different now for you with her?
Yeah, she's a year and a half. Just like this week, it's so much more fun and relaxing, and my at-home life doesn't revolve around golf anymore. It's all about her, and my wife does a really good job of keeping everything great outside the ropes and everything in line. So really, all I have to do is go play golf, and then she kind of takes care of the rest, and it's been great. But my daughter, I mean, it shows you that golf is not everything. I mean, if I was staying on my own all the time, you can go back to the room and all you're thinking about is your round, and you have nobody to talk to and take your mind off of golf. So she does a good job of that, and I've been seeing over the years of people's families coming out on 18 green and their children coming out to see them win. So I'm so happy that she was there to see it, because I have no idea if I'm going to win again or when I'm going to win again, but we'll have those pictures for a lifetime.
Yes, sir.
Keep it along those lines. You said you watch some children's shows instead of your typical stuff. Is that something you stumbled upon now and you have another 54-hole lead? You're going to go back to Yo Gabba Gabba?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, I'm usually watching Sports Center or watching NBC or Golf Channel, seeing guys play. I love watching golf. Yeah, it was great. I mean, it's funny to watch those shows that totally get your mind off of golf, and we might be onto something.
and then you make your debut here, you come close to winning here. After this many years coming back, did it almost feel like you've taken care of some unfinished business winning on this golf course you have such a long history with?
Yeah, that's what I told my caddy, Eric, that like finally we got in the winner's circle here. I've been close a long time. I was close to the U.S. Open a few years ago when John birdied the last couple holes. I feel like I've been right there here, and I love the setup, and it kind of everything aligned. This week I played an unbelievable round yesterday, finishing the way I did and kind of getting some momentum. And today, like I said, I hadn't had a lead in 54 holes in a long time, and it's tough. I mean, your emotions are all over the place, but I knew that being out here for 14 years, I got to use that to my advantage. The guys that were around me not many of them had won before, so I knew I had a little bit of the upper hand of how to handle my emotions out there, and I feel like I did a really good job.
Paul, go ahead.
Harris, what was the best shot you hit today?
A lot of the putts were really good. I'll say that up and down I had on 4 was pretty incredible. You never practice lies like that a whole lot. Plugged, uphill, 30-yard bunker shot, straight downwind, and those shots you just kind of have to visualize it and make it happen. And that's one that came out exactly how I was seeing it and ran up there to 5-6 feet, and those are the putts you got to make to keep the round going, to make some hard pars like that. So I would say that up and down sequence was probably my best.
You only hit 4 fairways today. It took a while to even get the first one. When the driver's kind of a little wayward, are you trying to tweak things as you go, or are you just hoping that you're going to find it eventually?
Yeah, I mean, I drove it unbelievably last week. I think at Palm Springs, I think I led the field in driving. So it's wild how this game changes from week to week. I mean, I went from probably my best driving week to only hitting 4 fairways in the final round. I just know it's hard. Like I'm not trying anything different. I'm going through my routine and seeing the shot, and if it comes off, great. If it goes in the rough, I'm going to figure out how to make par.
Another one at the back there. Yep. Thank you.
Can you talk us kind of through what was going through your mind on 18 over that drive? I mean, obviously, driver wasn't necessarily your friend today, but were you a little nervous over that drive and then the approach shot after you punched out?
I wasn't really nervous on the drive, and I was just trying to hit it way down there so I could hit it on the green in 2 and have an easier. I kind of thought Andrew might have had a chance to make an eagle on that hole, so I thought birdie would definitely get me a victory. Kind of an awkward wind for me. I like playing a fade, and any wind off the left, I'm a little worried about overcutting it. So it happens. I mean, get over there, I'm like, okay, well, I got to get it back in the fairway. It wasn't a very easy lie. Dead into the grain. Kind of don't really know how those are going to come out. And my caddy talked me through that shot a little bit of kind of, hey, we got to get this back in the fairway. I didn't even know how far it was to get back to the fairway. It's just kind of one of those shots where you just got to feel it and see it and hit it. And that's why we practice so much. You just kind of got to go with your gut and hit it really good. Just to get that ball back in the fairway, left me a pretty good number, full 56 degree. Kind of had an awkward lie, like downslope, right to left lie. And when it came off, I thought I was going to catch the slope and come back towards the hole and barely stay up top. But knew my speed was good all week and coasted it down there to the hole.
And then you said you saw Stevens was 4 under. Did you know that he was that hot, or are you someone that doesn't like to know, doesn't like to look at the scoreboard while you're out there?
I started watching it like 14, 15, 16. I kind of knew where everybody was. I didn't know if somebody was kind of making a run on the back nine and getting up to 8, 9, 10 under. So I like to know and kind of start playing out on how the last couple holes are going to go and kind of your strategy. So I feel like I did a good job of not getting ahead of myself and kept playing my game and kept plugging along.
Go ahead, Paul.
A bit random, but I know you're close with Davis Love. Jim Nantz on the broadcast mentioned that Davis had open heart surgery today, was healthy, and then was healthy and then came out healthier is how Davis referred to it as, so kind of a procedural thing. But just didn't know if you knew or if you had any words to share with Davis.
I didn't know that. That's wild. If there's anybody to come back stronger than ever, is that guy. I see him a lot in the gym. I see him a lot hitting balls and practicing. He loves the game and loves to get better, and he can't sit still at all. He's one of the few guys that if I was stuck somewhere, I would call him to come pick me up, and I know he would. He's that kind of guy and such a good mentor to all of us down at Sea Island, and hope he gets well. I know he will. I know he's going to get up in the morning, probably have some coffee, and get right back at it. He's a great guy, and I can't believe he had that, but I know he'll be back soon and probably playing golf tournaments before anybody knows it.
Go ahead, Todd.
Harris, can you tell us a little bit about the 21 Open last round? Don't remember much about it other than John's birdies. How were you feeling, like, even on the back nine? Did you feel like, I mean, solo third, right? I mean, how close did you feel like you're going to win the U.S. Open?
Yeah, I was feeling close for sure. I remember birdieing 18. I hit a really good drive, and I think I hit it middle back of the green. I think the pin was front right, and two putted for birdie. But yeah, I mean, you start feeling it, and you have no. I can't remember if I was third or fourth group from the last, but you don't really know how those guys are going to handle stuff coming in behind you. I mean, this is a tough golf course, U.S. Open setup, and yeah, I love being in the mix. I mean, that's why I practice. That's why I keep going. I love that feeling and love trying to win a major. And that's I was close at Winged Foot and I was close at Torrey. So I've had a lot of my major successes in U.S. Opens, which you kind of saw that today. Like Torrey is a U.S. Open golf course and always plays hard, and especially in those conditions today. I feel like a lot of people beat themselves or get too aggressive and kind of shoot themselves out of the tournament. So that's why I love setups like this.
Yeah. Were you the clubhouse leader when you finished that day?
I might have been. I remember finishing 18 and going into player hospitality, kind of don't really know, like kind of waiting, like not putting my clothes back in the travel bag, kind of waiting to see what Rahm did. I can't remember if Louis finished second, but I think Rahm birdied the last two holes.
Yeah. So you were watching it, see what he does.
Mm-hmm. I remember him making that slider on 17 for birdie. So yeah, I think I was sitting in player hospitality watching him do that.
Do you love seeing, and I know you just said you love Torrey Pines, but seeing how difficult this course can be set up even for a PGA Tour event? I mean, it's just so rare, right, to get this condition?
It is. We don't see rough like this a whole lot. Maybe a few times during the year, which I wish we had more really difficult setups on the PGA Tour. But I know it takes a lot of work. I mean, they've probably been watering that rough for a long time. I know you hadn't had a whole lot of rain here, so it's hard to get that much rough. But my caddy and I said this week, I mean, we came out here on Monday. I'd never seen the course in this good a condition, both south and north. They've made north a lot harder, and obviously a lot of the guys, I was lucky to play it the first day, but a lot of guys have played it the second day. I mean, it's so challenging. Thick rough out there as well, really tough golf course. Obviously the south is more of a bear, but they've made that north course a lot harder.
How do you feel about coming back for the Genesis now?
I'm excited. I was hoping they would choose this course to come back to, so I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, I love Riviera. That's one of my favorite golf courses. I've had a good bit of success there, and hate what has happened in the Palisades and kind of around LA. We all hate to see that, but I think you're going to see a lot of PGA Tour support for LA and those affected in the wildfires. But we're excited about coming here and playing this again.
Harris, I'll just close. I noticed the bracelet you got there. Can you tell us the story behind that?
They just gave it to me I guess, at the trophy presentation, they made a little friendship Farmers Insurance Open Champ bracelet. So put it on and might have to wear it for a little while.
Might be a good luck charm.
Might be a good luck charm.
All right, well, congratulations again. We appreciate your time and enjoy. How will you celebrate tonight?
I'm not sure. We've been going to a good sushi place up in Del Mar. We've been staying at an Airbnb up there. Maybe pretty low key. I don't know. We got to put our little girl to bed here in a little bit. We'll see. I'm pretty tired. That was a challenge out there. Still really hadn't hit me yet. And then got to get ready for next week.
Congratulations again. Great champion.
Thank you. Thank you.